Would it really be possible that we could get the whole truth? Oftentimes I think about what it would mean to have disclosure. Would it really change people's lives? Would it really matter? Obviously, in my opinion, of course it would. It would matter. It would give people maybe a new sense of meaning, a different perspective, a different way of thinking. Maybe people out there who suffer from depression might have a new way of looking at life. People who are suicidal, who have nothing to live for. Maybe some news could save thousands of lives. The idea of not being the only ones in this universe. I mean, don't even think about it in the sense of religion or anything of that. Think of it more in a fantastical way. Who's a sci-fi nerd here? I definitely am. I love all the movies, back of the 90s, 80s. I always dreamed of, I dreamt of like the idea of, movies like Star Wars, Star Trek, The Abyss, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Those movies that kind of give you this sense of wonder and magic, of aliens living among the stars, flying in spaceships, firing laser weapons. They have shields against attacks from enemies deep in the vast reaches of outer space. I don't know how I'm trying to word this, but to just even fathom the idea that all those movies that we are fans of, that somehow we are in a reality where all that could actually be possible. Where we are in a universe filled with life and endless possibilities. Just think about all the possibilities out there. Even imagine that in this galaxy alone, with billions of planets, projected to even exist. Out of those billions of planets in this galaxy, maybe not millions, but let's say thousands of planets that are in the habitable zone. That could potentially have life in them. Just think about the possibilities of that. The idea that somehow we have civilizations evolving on different planets with different types of life forms, different ways of thinking, who have, possibly perspectives that we can't even imagine. Philosophy, theology. It opens up so many ideas, so many possibilities that are so endless. And to think about the idea that we might get disclosure soon. Uh, it's 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 quite a time to be alive. I'm pretty sure anybody who's into aliens, UFOs, conspiracy theories knows that it doesn't take us a lot to convince us that there's life out there, that we have been visited, or that the government is hiding alien technology, alien bodies somewhere in the desert. Deep down, we already know all that stuff is out there and exists, or even alien bases in the ocean. But to get confirmation from the government, and this is where I kind of get a little iffy, you know. Lately, the government hasn't been really. To be fair, the government has never been really that upfront and truthful about whatever they do. But lately, ever since COVID, you gotta admit, can't really trust the government, even the ones that you think are on your side. You kind of have to look twice. And you kind of have to wonder, are they really on your side? Something I've heard is when you're in the CIA, you retire, you never really retire from the CIA. You're never really out. You're always in the CIA. And so I imagine anybody in the government, in or out, if you're still have some sort of contract or payroll, I don't know if you can really trust any of these people, even the whistleblowers, because it's all information that's being controlled and it's being dictated how it's being released. I'm not saying any of the whistleblowers like David Grush or Lou Elizondo or anybody is full of crap or lying to us, but we definitely have to be careful about the information that we get. And even if we get disclosure in the next day or so, I think supposedly we're supposed to be getting disclosure tomorrow, Friday, May 8th, 2026. Not disclosure in the sense like it's all going to get dumped, but the process should start tomorrow. And I'm worried that it's going to be a very sanitized version of disclosure where we're only going to get like paperwork or files about like, oh yeah, we do see some stuff flying around, but at the end of the day, we still don't know what it is. So it's like letting us know that, yeah, the US government doesn't really know what's flying out there, but we still don't know if it's aliens. It's not a confirmation. What else would all this hype for alien disclosure? What could really be the thing? What would they actually release? The only thing left would be to say that, yeah, aliens are real. We are being visited. We don't know who they are or what they are. Think about that information alone, just the fact that they would be telling us that aliens are visiting. We know they are. But then that opens up more questions. What if you know that they are aliens? How do you know that they are aliens? How do you know that these are beings or something visiting us from another somewhere extra dimensional or whatever? What information were you able to gather to let you know that these are aliens? How did you come about this information? What process did you take to, it's like once you get answers to these questions, then suddenly you have more questions. And I just feel like it never ends until we finally really have everything, because it's going to be a long process. It's not going to be easy for sure. And if this whole disclosure by Trump doesn't really work out, then honestly, I can't really imagine ever getting disclosure or even ever believing that we will ever get disclosure by the government officially. At this point, the only way we're ever going to get it is if the people somehow find a way to get it themselves. And I feel like that would be the only way. And so I don't really have a lot of hope for what this disclosure is going to be from the Trump administration. I have hope, but I don't have hope. We've been let down so many times. You know, I've always said, and I always hear from different podcasters, you know, we don't have to know what alien weaponry or what weapons or what kind of reverse engineered aircraft they were able to, you know, come up with because of the alien technology. Just let us know that aliens exist. Let us know that we are officially not alone in this universe. Like, let that be the statement. Give us that right as citizens of this planet, you know? It should be our right to know the truth of whether or not we share this universe with other people. That shouldn't be kept from us. Everything else, like whatever reverse technology or anything, sure, keep that a secret, it's fine. But you definitely have to tell us, are we alone or not? And who are they? Where are they from? That's information very necessary for us. What do they look like? Especially, you know, we want to know what they look like. Where are they from? What have you learned from them? What sort of civilization do they have? You know, details like that. That's important to us. We deserve to know. And so I'm really hoping here that we actually get some information like that. But, you know, I'm definitely hopeful because, I mean, think about it. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had nothing like this. It's definitely, the UFO topic has definitely gotten into the mainstream for sure already. And that's something we've never thought would even happen. We never thought the president would be talking about alien disclosure like this. Even former presidents, like Barack Obama, admitting that the aliens are real, but, you know, later on supposedly retracting and like, oh no, it didn't mean it that way. But, you know, come on. We know what you meant. We definitely live in a different time. I cannot deny we definitely have progressed in terms of our sort of collective mind of how we are thinking about this subject, how the mainstream, how the normal population is thinking about this subject. More and more people are like, yeah, of course, aliens are real. Why wouldn't they be? Of course. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't UFOs be real, or why wouldn't aliens have bases? Why not? It seems plausible. It's like slowly being normalized. Like, you have no idea. It's so different than how it was more than 10 years ago. It's so different. Even 5 years ago. Of course, the government would be hiding. More and more people believe in this idea. You hear more of alien, you know, government cover-ups and UFOs on the news now, more than you could have ever thought to hear 5+ years ago, 10 years ago. So I cannot deny that we are definitely progressing, and it is getting closer and closer. And even if we don't get the disclosure we want this year, the progress is definitely being made. It's just that most people like me who have been into this subject since they were little kids for more than 2 decades. It's like you've been watching every day, year after year, the progress, and so it just kind of seems like it's just been slowly progressing, and there are moments where you just feel like, I don't think this is ever gonna happen. I don't think they would ever. But when you look back in retrospect, the years since the New York Post, in 2017 until now, it's definitely come a long way. It definitely has. So I have to imagine that in 10 years, let's say 2036, I say within our lifetimes, we will definitely know if we are alone in the universe or not. Like there won't be a doubt. And I feel like we will know who is visiting us, what they look like, who they are, for sure. Like, we'll have more like official, like it's not gonna be like speculative. It won't be like, well, this person, I heard it from this person who supposedly I heard it in a report, saw it on video, or this or no. It's like we will know, and possibly we will have been face to face with them on a global level. Like, everyone will be normalized to the idea that we are seeing these beings in person. Definitely within our lifetimes. Well, my lifetime. Anybody who's 80+ years old or 90+ years old, probably not, but within my lifetime for sure. I don't know. What do you guys think? Honestly, you think we'll actually get disclosure within the next 3 months? Supposedly that's when Trump is going to be coming out with all this information, especially right in time for the 250th anniversary of America. It'd be quite a way to celebrate the anniversary, And also, it would solidify his presidency as the first president ever to disclose aliens. He would be cemented in history for all time that humans exist, that he will be remembered as the first president ever to do so, if he does it. And so if he cares about ego, image, popularity, what the history books will talk about, that would overshadow everything in my mind, in my opinion, of solidifying him as the greatest president of all time. If he literally discloses the UFO topic, like legitimately. Like, no fucking sugarcoating, no fucking sanitized, light version, no, the hardcore version of everything. Obviously, we won't get everything, but at least the main shit, like, are we alone, yes or not? Who are they? Where are they from? All that good stuff. What do they look like? We need pictures. We need videos. We gotta see what they look like. Come on. It's like, that's the next best thing after knowing officially that we are not alone. Is, what do they look like? Come on. Are they actually little green men, or are they reptilians, or are they these tall Nordic beings You know? Did they create us? What's our history? Who are we? What the fuck are we doing here? What is the point of all this? Why is this the way it is? You know? But that's later on. That's a bunch of rabbit holes. But yeah, I think I've rambled on way too much. But if you definitely like hearing these videos, definitely let me know. Like, subscribe. Yeah. Honestly, take care, guys. Wish you guys all the best. Have a good night.